All right. Hello, everybody. It is again December the 1st, 2019. Holy crap. I don't know what the heck just happened there. Hello, everyone that is here in the chat room or potentially watching live. Hello, I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co host of Wrestleview Live, alongside the effervescent Mike Tedesco, the editor in chief of Wrestleview.com, where we cover all of the major pay per views by the WWEs, including the Survivor Series that happened last Sunday. But, Doug, why in the world is there an WrestleMania Army WrestleMania logo behind me? We'll get into that in a second. I've sent the links out to everyone to understand that this is where the show is now. Hopefully, they will see that soon. I forgot to switch everything around, and I've been kind of busy over here in my home when it comes to the Thanksgivings, so I haven't had really a lot of time to get things sorted out. It's been a wacky, wacky week. I hope that everyone had a bountiful, plentiful, scrumdiddlyumptious, happy Thanksgiving that made you all fat, happy, and stupid. And I certainly got fat, happy, and stupid because I had two separate Thanksgivings. There we go. Jamel's in there. Okay, please, Jamel, let everyone else know where this show is. If you are in the chat room now, say wee. If not, I know you'll be straggling in. Yeah, technical difficulties in trying to get my sources all together, as well as getting this stuff all set up, because I had a very bountiful Thanksgiving. Hello, Jamel. I saw Daniel in there. Everyone else should be filtering in as well, I hope. I saw Andrew in there. Everyone else, come on in. I'll go ahead and chat a little bit while I sip on my sources, and I'll tell you what they are. So, Thanksgiving was very, very nice for myself. Had two separate Thanksgivings. One with my girlfriend's family, Deanna's family, and also with my own family. That was last night. Let's see. The Thanksgiving, and I want to kind of tell this story when it comes to having Thanksgiving with Deanna's family, because I had a very interesting kind of epiphany, I guess is the best way to put it, with regards to how we all digest professional wrestling right now. Because let's just say we are right now done with watching, God, what is it? If you started 2 Mondays ago and go up to now, so 13 days, you would have digested about 33 hours of professional wrestling content. A lot of stuff. Okay? So we're all really fat, happen, stupid when it comes to professional wrestling content right now. This was our Thanksgiving. When I was with Deanna's family for Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Thursday, we went to a restaurant for Thanksgiving called Epic Chop House. It's a fabulous steakhouse here in downtown Mooresville, North Carolina. It was myself, Deanna, her parents, and her sister's family of 4, which consisted of her sister, Natalie, her husband, Donnie, and their 2 kids, Ray and Ava, son and daughter. I want to focus on having times with Donnie, Deanna's brother-in-law and Natalie's husband. Donnie is a very conservative fellow. We didn't talk politics at all. We know him to be a conservative fellow. But he is also... So we're sitting there, we're watching football on the television. The Dallas-Buffalo game just started. And as we're watching the game and also taking into account the game prior, Donnie is the kind of sports viewer that makes only negative comments. He's got no horse in any of these fights. He's not a fan of any of the 4 teams of the 2 games that we saw. But he's constantly making negative comments. You know, like, oh, he should have caught that ball. Oh, that's not where you're supposed to run. Oh, God, that quarterback's stupid. Oh, the refs are in the game for the Cowboys. Blah, 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 blah. And never heard a positive comment or a positive reaction from him at all. We got into the Dallas game, and there are penalties being called, and they're against Buffalo, and he's constantly saying that the refs are in for Dallas the whole time. And I'm sitting there going, dude, we're only a minute and a half into this game. You're not allowed to pipe conspiracy theories until the second half of the game. Okay? So just stop. Just stop it right now. The guy can't say a positive comment at all regarding to any kind of sporting event that he watches. And it kind of dawns on me that, this reminds me a lot about wrestling fans. How a lot of diehard wrestling fans that really don't have a dog in the fight in anything, but watch too much of it and read too much of it and get too embroiled into the industry of professional wrestling, only say negative things. Can never really say anything positive unless it's something that, them personally, or they think that something's really cool. They don't really make any kind of viable comments regarding, being objective. Okay, a lot of professional wrestling fans, I find, are not really objective at all. So, I don't know. I don't get it. Why isn't anyone showing up in my chat room? I don't see any of you people showing up in my chat room. What in the world is going on here? I thought I saw you guys, but now I can't. You're not showing up in my window. Let me see something here. What if I change? No. Okay. All right, so here we go again with doing stuff on the fly to try to make things better. Okay, let's see if we can fix things here. Come on, Doug, try to be professional here while you try to figure this crap out. All right, let's see. I'm trying to have conversations with you, all while trying to fix things. Doug, you stink at this. You really stink at this. No, I don't stink at this. I'm trying hard. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. Everything's right there. Why aren't... This is... there you are! Woohoo! Found it. Found you guys. All right. Everyone in the chat room say, wee, right now. I just refreshed it, CJ. That's what I caught. I refreshed it. My bad. Everyone go bonkers. Oh, God, I feel so much better right now. Okay. Everyone go wee. All right. I saw CJ. I know Daniel was in there. There's CJ. There's Andrew. There's Jamel. Okay. All right. We got it all fixed. I got it. Okay. Okay. So we got all that story and everything. Jamel saying we are all John Cena. Yeah, we're all John Cena. Okay, we're all very positive people here. All right, on the show today, again, we have digested over 30 hours of professional wrestling content for nearly the past 2 weeks. So, I guess a lot of stuff to go through, but the cool thing is when doing a pay-per-view hangover like this one, especially with my schedule change, my job change, and everything else, we're going to look over what all happened with Survivor Series last week, as well as the post-Survivor Series episodes of Raw and SmackDown. I'm not going to review them, but look back and, step back and figure out what the heck's going on here. And also revisit Fantasy Booking 101. Because we are getting very, very close to WrestleMania times. Arr, me WrestleMania. Arr, Lacey Evans, me concubine. Arr. And so, we're going to kind of dip into how are we preparing for WrestleMania? What is our whiteboard looking like? Yeah. There's a lot of questions that I have for both Raw and SmackDown. And also just what the heck is going on here? What are we doing? But as far as reviewing television shows, I've got Raw and NXT in the hopper, ready to go. We're kind of going to do, CJ brings up the Mania whiteboard. Going to do kind of a mental whiteboard. I don't have it physically with me, but we're going to kind of brainstorm a little bit on what exactly does creative have in mind for us when it comes to Army WrestleMania. Also, got some headlines to go over. Apparently, people's feelings were hurt and they don't like to be on the NXT and the Twitters and the Instagrams. And no, not really, but I've got 2 cents going in on that little thing that we're going to talk about with the headlines. WWE milk carton has practically been wiped clean. It is the smallest milk carton I have ever seen right now. I don't even know if it's a carton. It's right now probably the size, it's like a thimble almost. It's a very, very small WWE milk carton that we have going on right now because we have massive updates to the injury list and injury report. People coming back from injury, coming back from being on a hiatus. This is going to be fascinating to pour over. But, oh yeah, what are the sources? We went with the good old faithful WWE Milk Cup. Yes, CJ, that's what it would be called. Just the typical Roman Captain Morgan. The Captain Morgan that I prefer is Captain Morgan Silver. It's Captain Morgan Silver. Trust me, that's what it is. Because it's for Army WrestleMania. I got me a Captain. I'm having an Aaron Stevens. And we're doing this because so Survivor Series. I made predictions about the Survivor Series with all of y'all's help. Unfortunately, 8 matches were on the card. We went an abysmal 3-5. Of those 5 losses, 3 of them were locks. I guess we'll go over. Of those 5 losses, the 3 were locks. Those 3 locks were Shinsuke Nakamura winning the triple threat between him, Roderick Strong, and AJ Styles. New Day winning their triple threat tag team match versus Viking Raiders and Fish and O'Reilly. And finally, Rey Mysterio actually beating Brock Lesnar? But no. What the hell was I thinking? The hell was I thinking in that? So, holy crap. So, and whenever I get a locked prediction wrong, we do a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. We're getting a little low here. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I got this. This has been lasting probably a good 9 months, it looks like. So, yeah, 3 shots is what we got. We're only going to do, I think we're going to do, what should I do? Should I do 1 or 2? I think I should do 2. I want to get it out of the way. I really do want to get this out of the way. I really want to get my poor decision-making out of the way. CJ saying, what the hell was I thinking? Well, it's my fault that I agreed with you, CJ, okay? I'm sorry. You can go ahead and take as much blame as you want, but I'm the one that agreed, and I'm the one that went through it. So, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to pay for it. So here we go. The Cleveland Indians double shot glass. We're doing 2. We're doing 2. We're doing 2. We're pouring it. Oh, okay, there we go. Gosh, this is the reason y'all watch this show. Y'all, I don't know if you guys necessarily root for me when it comes to this stuff. Rooting to be correct, But as you all know, if I get all of the locks correct, it's still not going to be a sober show because we celebrate with the scotch. And I can't wait because I got some fabulous scotch waiting in the wings. But I can't drink it because we suck. So, all right. So, all right. Trying not to spill it because, man, did I get this close. All right, CJ, you got yours? All right, here we go. And everyone's saying it in the chat, so everyone knows what the motto is. Here we go. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Ah. God, I tried hard to keep it in. I tried hard not to be meme-tastic on that one. Okay. Andrew saying I have a chance to redeem myself at TLC. Do I? Do I have a chance to redeem myself at TLC? Speaking of which, when is TLC? That's in a couple weeks, isn't it? 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now is TLC. So, okay. All right. We can actually, during the prediction show of TLC, we may be somewhat sober. We won't be incredibly buzzed, and we won't make such horrid decisions. We will not be enamored by our own. We won't be stupid. How about that? But also, we will learn from Fantasy Booking 101. Okay? Because I really can't wait to revisit this and remind ourselves of Fantasy Booking 101. So, anyway, on to the show. I am excited to talk for the first time in a very, very long time. I can't wait to we're going to talk about the Red Show with a smile on our face. We're going to talk about the Red Show with a smile on our face, and Xantrix Damian Lackey got run through the taffy puller on this one. You're damn right, Xantrix. I got ran through the taffy puller. That's for damn sure. I'm going to end up looking like Damian Priest after not getting any sun and playing too much Magic the Gathering. Hey, I'm just as happy as these two guys are, Rey Mysterio and his big fat son, Dominic. I'm excited about Raw, Jamel. You're damn right I'm excited because my boys are in the main event on Raw. We are live in Chicago. Vic Joseph and Jerry the King Lawler at the helm. We have not seen Dio in a while, ever since he got destroyed by Bork Laser. And I'm kind of digging just the two-man team right now. You know, when it comes to Jerry Lawler, I totally get it. He has the old man jokes, and that's something you got to kind of wince through. But Jerry Lawler is better at being Jim Ross than Jim Ross is at being Jim Ross. Okay? Jerry Lawler, when he's organic and not so forced with his stupid old man jokes and puns, he's actually quite palatable. Okay? This episode in particular, he's very good at it. All right? But we start off the Raw. We are having ourselves a town hall meeting of the Raw roster, and Seth Rollins is in the ring saying that everyone sucked. Everyone sucked. Not mentioning himself, just that everyone sucked. He starts pointing out people. He says that Randy, you suck, and he gave him the wanking as he walked away, which was fantastic. He called out Charlotte for not being a team leader. She walks away. Calls out the authors of Pain for not even being there, saying that they were for violence for the sake of violence, and they weren't even there, and he causes them to walk away. Then he calls out Rey Mysterio, saying that Seth, I myself beat Bork Laser twice, and you couldn't even beat him with a lead pipe and your stupid son. So, everyone walks away, except for Kevin Owens. Seth says words, but then Owens does the Stone Cold reply. So, yeah. Nafisa Dot says, wee! Hello, everybody. I mean, just you, Nafis. I've said everyone else. Your stupid son. That's right. Jamel saying Randy Orton out of fucks since 2014. Absolutely. Was a great way to start off Raw. Is this where we say that Seth Rollins has made the turn? Yeah. Yeah, now is the time where we say Rollins has made the turn. He's the heel. He is now a heel. And Kevin Owens is babyface. He's been babyface, I guess, which is weird. Okay, Rollins as a heel is not weird at all. Kevin Owens as a babyface? Well, if he's using the Stone Cold Stunner all the time, then I guess it's a requirement. So, there we go. Later on tonight, we're going to have Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the main event. Titus O'Neil, when he's not in battle royales and randomly chasing for the 24/7 title, he's going to have a match against Bob Lashley with Lana in tow. This did not last long because Rusev came through the crowd and started attacking Bobby Lashley. This would lead to great times with Rusev yelling, "Come on, Bob." And then finally, Rusev just shoulder blocking Lashley down onto the ground, screaming into nothing. Is this now the lunatic fringe Rusev? I don't know. But still, Titus in a match, Jamel says. What a weird sentence that is. Yes, it is. Xantrix saying milk carton took a beating this week. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, the milk carton is very, very light. This is a skim milk carton that we're going to be looking at. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus my boys, the AOP. Yeah, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, squash-erific. Oh, these boys. And they're not sporting shirts this time. They're just wearing the cargos and coming out like that. Not over-accessorizing, no over-accessorizing. Now just come out, beat the crap out of people, and leave. And that's what's great right now about AOP is that they've sort of changed their move set right now. They remind me a lot of when Rowan and Harper first debuted with the WWE main roster, and that when they're in the ring, they just maul. No wrestling moves, no holds, no suplexes, no nothing like that. Just beat the crap out of people. Punch them, knee them, kick them, clotheslines, stuff like that. That is all these guys should be doing, okay? You've touted yourselves as former MMA guys. That's what you do. You take the Bork laser roll. You just maul people, beat the crap out of them. That's what they did. The only times you use wrestling moves is when you're doing the double team stuff, when you're doing the super collider or last chapter. But their finisher right now is looking like the powerbomb into neckbreaker finisher is what it's looking like now, and all for it. All for it. Or if you want to do the assisted go to GTS that we will see them give someone later in the show. Yes. Akira Tozawa versus Andrade with Zelina Vega in tow. Kind of a wham bam thank you man match as well. We got the hammerlock DDT taken by Tozawa. Wham. There you go. Mike Tedesco is sitting behind his computer waiting for them to do something with Andrade. I have thoughts on that as well when we get into the fantasy booking part of the show. Aleister Black is in his darkly lit room and talks about how Buddy wants to pick a fight with him. Buddy Murphy wants to pick a fight with him. Matt Hardy makes his entrance for a match, and we're going to commercial. What? Matt Hardy off the milk carton. He's tired of waiting for a baby to come out. He's gotten impatient. He had to get on TV. And you know what? Take a flight to Chicago. You know, just to be on a show, sure. Matt Hardy versus Buddy Murphy, a very, very fun gatekeeper match to really boost and tout Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy would win clean. But then Aleister Black would come out and scream and kick and knee and do stuff. Yes. So Matt Hardy and Titus O'Neil having matches on Monday Night Raw. What world am I living in right now? I don't get it. The United States title is going to be defended here as well. Charlie Caruso backstage talking to the Charlotte Flair because she's going against Asuka. Seth Rollins says words and Kevin Owens says words. Okay, so AJ Styles is in the ring waiting for his opponent for the United States title, and that is Humberto Carrillo. He makes his entrance, then Gallows and Anderson attack him from behind, beat the crap out of him, give him the magic killer on the steps, and oops, AJ Styles says, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Looks like he can't go. So what do you want to do? But Xantrix asking, but Buddy Murphy on a mic was? Buddy Murphy on a mic is not bad. Okay, yes, I will tout Buddy Murphy on the mic as well. Okay, I think Buddy Murphy is getting up there. But let's hold our horses before we start putting him in matches with, AJ Styles or Rey Mysterio or Randy Orton or anyone like that. Okay, let's just hold off. Let's hold off on that. Okay. Since there's not going to be a United States title match involving AJ Styles and the Humberto Carrillo, Ricochet comes out, checks on his buddy. He says that, hey, I'll go for the title. AJ says, no. Randy Orton comes out, I'll go for the title. No. Drew McIntyre comes out, I'll go for the title. No. And then Rey Mysterio comes out, I'll go for the title. No. Then Ricochet says, let's have a fatal four-way, and the winner goes against AJ Styles for the title. AJ says no, but his friends Gallows and Anderson says, that sounds kind of pretty cool. I'd like to see that. So, I want to Mike Tedesco's tweet about this. I am in no way advocating for the return of a heel authority figure, but we could use a figurehead commissioner that books matches every now and then and settles disputes rather than Ricochet playing matchmaker. That was just dumb. Even Lawler said something about it. So, yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It made no sense to me, but that's what we get. Fatal four-way: Ricochet, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio. Oh boy, all kinds of wacky shit going on here. We get a stupid Tower of Doom spot. Yeah, we get that. I don't think I'm gonna get pinged. Well, no, I can't. I really can't play this. But if you want a really good spot in this match, I wish I could play this. But it's Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton chopping each other back and forth. Drew McIntyre saying, "You've had 93 titles already. It's my time now." And Randy Orton going, "Well, you're just mad because I'm taller than you and better than you." McIntyre gives Orton a chop. Then Orton gives McIntyre a chop back. McIntyre's like, okay. McIntyre gives Orton another chop, and this one was loud. Really loud. Made Orton wince, kind of wring his ears a little bit. He's got his hands on his knees. And McIntyre's going, "Come on, show how big of a man you are." And Randy Orton's like, "Okay, hold on." Boop. Poke him right in the eye. I was laughing. That's when I really love Randy Orton. Okay, when he does that kind of stuff. Okay, not doing Randy Orton things. Okay, when he's really Randy Orton, seriously, Jamel is absolutely correct. Randy Orton has totally run out of fucks to give. Okay, he is just fun now. All right, he is absolutely, legitimately fun. Okay, no longer doing sneaky, snaky Randy Orton-like things. Okay, just fun. He's telling people to jerk off. He's poking people in the eye instead of being a man. Love it. Absolutely love it. And then he just does a move out of nowhere and everyone goes nuts. Love it, love it, love it. But your winner of the Fatal 4-Way match would be Rey Mysterio after countering something from the Ricochet. I think we're trying to get a Claymore. Nope. You get an RKO instead. I am not doing any wheeze right now, am I? Oh, thank God. That's giving me a rest. Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles with the Orange County at ringside for the United States Championship. Or the Orange County would get tossed out from the ring. This would be a very, very good match between the two. Never count out Rey Mysterio because he's going to do the weird little destroyer. Yeah, does that thing. But so the ref gets knocked out after Mysterio would connect with a 619. AJ flails back. The ref gets knocked down. That cues up the Orange County to come back. But Randy Orton comes out, beats up the Orange County, gets back in the ring, RKO's Styles. Mysterio gets the top rope the frog splash for the win. Was a very, very fun match. 619 into the RKO. And then he would go with the frog splash and win. was an incredibly, incredibly fun match. Mashoon Walls says, "Wee!" Hi there, Mashoon. Hi there. Very, very fun match. Rey Mysterio matches, I mean, it's a rarity that you'll find a bad one. Absolute rarity you'll find a bad one. Kevin Owens is in the back. He says words. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Nothing really going on here except Asuka spraying pea soup into Charlotte's face, and she would get the win that way. So that's what we're getting now. We're getting Charlotte versus The Exorcist for a while, for 2 weeks in a row. That's what we're getting. Kyle Roberts getting squashed by Eric Rowan because Eric Rowan has a burlap sack draped over a cage, and Rowan doesn't like it when you look inside that thing. Okay. We realize now that this is Eric Rowan's 5th go-round as a character. We need to understand this, okay? Wade Barrett did not get this kind of leeway. All right, so Eric Rowan has got to be doing something right that Wade Barrett never did. Because how many go-rounds did Wade Barrett have with characters? Okay, he had the Nexus, then he had the Core, then he had Bad News Barrett, then he had King Barrett. I mean, 4 go-rounds for him. Eric Rowan's on his 5th go-round, almost 6th, okay? He's still, I don't get it. I don't know. Is it just we're keeping him just because of the look? That's got to be it, because he has a look that no one else has. I mean, he's a 6'8", he's a 6'7", 6'8", bald head, ginger beard. Okay? No one else has this look. No one else has this look. That's the only reason they still have him. But I wonder if there's a way that they want to maybe fashion him into being like the new Kane, or like the new big man gatekeeper, is I guess what I'm looking at here. But that's not really what they're doing, because they're trying to build this character because he's got a weird pet. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what our end game is here. I don't know what the end game is. Okay. Squash-horrific match for him. Iconics are backstage selling merch, and R-Truth is helping them out with that. AJ Styles says Randy Orton's name backstage because he's angry. Charlie Caruso interviews Lana. Lana says that Bob will be fine. Finally, Nafisa Dot saying the big man gatekeeper role is bronze. No, not really. Big man gatekeeper right now? Who is a big man gatekeeper right now? I don't think there is one. Yeah, I really don't think there's a big man gatekeeper. It used to be Big Show. I thought Big Show was one. Just so that you looked good in a match with him. You didn't necessarily have to beat him. Kane used to be that. If you looked good with Kane, you were fine. There's not a big man gatekeeper is really hard to find. And really hard to condition, too. Main event, Seth Rollins versus the Kevin Owens. They have a really nice, fun little match. Watch out, Kevin Owens gonna woohoo. Is that a we? This is a we, isn't it? Yeah, that's absolutely a we. Okay. So, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens in the main event, and Kevin Owens is on the Wii. He's on the apron. He's going to be doing a somersault onto the Wii, onto the floor. There just happens to be a Seth Rollins Wii on the floor for him to land onto Wii. Oh, but no, it's not. Okay, Daniel. Daniel says it's not a Wii. I agree with that. Owens and Rollins trading off finishers and stuff like that. Owens connects with the stunner. Both of them are down, and out comes my boys, the AOP. And what was great was they get into the ring. One is staring at Owens. One is staring at Rollins. And Owens is the one that gets up first and fights off Akam. Then Rezar joins in, and they just start beating the crap out of him. Did a two-man go to sleep on him, which looked gruesome. Absolutely gruesome. After beating up Owens, the two of them stand and stare at Seth Rollins. and Seth Rollins getting up. Come on, let's go. They leave the ring, leaving Rollins to kind of pick up the pieces and just stomp Owens into the ground, and that's how we end the show. Not a bad way to finish. Leaves you with a cliffhanger. Going, whop. What's the AOP thinking? Are they in cahoots with Rollins, even though Rollins insulted them? I don't know. But one thing that I do know is scheduled for Raw tomorrow night, Rollins is going to apparently apologize for something. I don't know. He's going to apologize for something. What did everyone think of Monday Night Raw? 65% gave it a thumbs up. And that's weird for the course. That is weird for the course because everyone watches Raw, and usually everyone hates Raw. Mashoon asking, what are the sources? The sources is Rum and Coke, Captain Morgan and Coke. Speaking of which, I think I'll refill. A little bit here. This is my ice. Got to put some more ice into the drink. Because I think we should refill because the next show that I would like to talk about is a very fun show. A very meme-tastic show. Full of gifs and funnies. And one in particular that absolutely got my attention. Here's the silver. Oh boy. This is going to be dangerous. Andrew saying I just took a swig of my Source's ice sparkling water apple flavor. It's yucky. Well, no, that's not. You're not taking any chances with your Sources there, Andrew. No, you're not taking any chances with that. What show am I talking about that's meme-tastic, gift-tastic, and every other thing that is tastic? It is something that makes a lot of people chant. It smells like Cheetos and Mountain Dew. It is NXT. Oh, the Finn Balor looking down on the Adam Cole, walking away, and Finn Balor is looking slightly sexy. Sorry, I just had to put that out there. Tom Phillips has taken the place of Mauro Ranallo on this show. We will talk about why, or maybe why. Maybe we don't know why, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Tom Phillips, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix are manning the helms on this edition of NXT. The show starts off with some guy coming out and rapping. And the entire NXT roster coming out and being all happies and stuff. But then Undisputed Era comes out and says, why in the hell are you guys so happy? We did all the work. You guys did nothing. Oh, that was a strong sip of the rum. Tomato Chomper interrupts them all, saying, hey, you guys got your asses kicked at War Games. He says a lot of things, but apparently we have a tag team title match of the NXT variety where Fish and O'Reilly will be defending against Dijakovic, Double D, and Keith Lee, who is just a national treasure. They will be facing each other for the tag team titles. So, yeah. And Tomato Chomper says that there's nothing standing in his way between him and Goldie, the NXT title. He wants to go after Adam Cole, baby. But then Finn Balor's music hits. He walks in front of Undisputed Era, in between them and the ring, and says, looks like I'm standing in your way, Tomato Chomper. So, yeah. You want to talk about, you can't talk about the title without me, says the Finn Balor. A very good opening to start everything off, and we get right into the NXT Tag Team title match between Undisputed Era versus Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic. Double D. So, I'm going to play you the GIF. So, it was with this move of Keith Lee dumping dumping Fish out of the ring and onto O'Reilly. It was immediately after this we went to commercial break and came back to find that Bobby Fish was taken to the back, could not continue with the match, and Roderick Strong would take his place. I am only judging just by how limp he is in Keith Lee's hands after being dumped out onto the floor, that he got knocked out pretty hard. Normally, when you're going to be in a gorilla press like this, you're extending your legs out and being as flat like a plank as you can be before you're dumped out, so that you're taking up as much space as possible, so that when all of your body absorbs the impact when you fall on the ground or fall on the person who's supposed to be falling with you. Bobby Fish was dead weight on this. Complete dead weight. So something happened in the ring before this happening, so where that he just cannot continue. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. What is with Bobby Fish? Okay. I really don't mean to sound like I'm not going to be criticizing the guy or anything, but he is injury prone like mad. All right. We've had knee surgeries, we've had shoulder surgeries, and now we've gotten concussed. What is this? You know? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with him? Is he not doing something right in the ring? I don't know. But yeah, Roderick Strong would take the place of Bobby Fish throughout the rest of this match. Commercial break. It's your typical back and forths with everything. God, do we not have, oh God, please find me the GIF. I need the GIF. There it is. Okay. So, Ozantric saying maybe come back with the fish bones on his tights shattered in 1,000 pieces. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I don't know. When I meant meme-tastic and gif-tastic in this is throughout. So at one point in this match, Keith Lee is on the outside, and Adam Cole is wanting to do stuff. First off, Double D. Is this a we? Do I need to say we in this? He's a large man. I think he's too large for a we. I don't think so. No. Daniel saying we? Is this a we? I mean, Kevin Owens wasn't a we, so how can this be a we? I think there's plenty of other times during this show that I'm going to be able to say we. All right, Mashoon's going we. Nafisa saying maybe a we. You know, we normally don't give near 7-footers a wee, but we're going to have to give 7-footers a wee because this is Double D and he's landing on two other guys. Wee! Bobby Fish would be out there, but the fish is broken. Wee! So we got a Roderick Strong out there, but Strong is not enough. Wee! To absorb all the impact of a Double D flying the wee! Flying through the air. He's got to be, oh, it's wee! God, those are weird tights. I can't do it anymore. All right, and Andrew brings it up. But the crown jewel of this entire show, of the match in this entire show, Adam Cole making his way down the ramp to try to help his boys, but Keith Lee going, nope! I had some of you guys on the Facebook page and even on the Twitter going, you have got to have this with your girlfriend Deanna responding to you about watching wrestling. The problem is I can't do that because I don't want my girlfriend seeing that I made a tweet where I identified her with a very large black man. Okay, no. But all right. I'm trying hard to contain myself seeing this GIF playing continuously. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, it is right here of all of the spots and all of the I can't stop laughing looking at this. The greatest spot, the greatest move in all of professional wrestling has always been the pounce. Always been the pounce. Always. Dating back to Marcus Corvon, the alpha male in TNA. Seriously, I will give TNA its props for this spot. The pounce is a fabulous spot, okay? Just a shoulder block from the side. The guy, knowing that it's coming, can, stabilize his foot and know that he's going to be flying the opposite direction. And all he has to do is lightly leap, and that big man is going to shove him as far as he can in the opposite direction. And for God's sakes, this is the greatest pounce known to mankind. Right here. God damn, that was fantastic. Look at this. Just free Adam Cole's for everybody. Gee. Now, thankfully, they had some plants out there to catch him. But you would never know this when you see the ladies in front, right there where he's being sent. They're like, holy shit. Now, unless they were plants and they're supposed to give reaction shots, but this was a treasure to behold. You want me to freeze frame him in midair? Okay, we'll try. Dear God. Look at this. I mean, look at this. This is an absolute treasure. Okay? It is. Book it right now. You book the son of a bitch right now. Adam Cole, Keith Lee, NXT title, NXT TakeOver, Tampa Bay. Book it. Book that son of a bitch. Book it. Book it. I feel so sorry for Tomato Chomper and Finn Balor right now. Because I understand that's the big storyline. Okay, I get it. That's the storylines you want to go with. You put a lot of work into this. Tomato Chomper coming back from injury. He wants his title back. Finn Balor coming back from whence he came, trying to make a statement that everyone else sucks and that, NXT is just full of kids that don't understand what you are and you built this place. Totally get those storylines. But Keith Lee, for the past 12 months, has been so organic. So organic. And just from his matches with Double D, that's all it's been. Not building up a character, not building up a storyline. It's been organic. This screams of Vladimir Kozlov. It screams of Braun Strowman. It screams of Daniel Bryan. There's so many organically built guys like this. So many. And yet, you feel like it's going to fall through the cracks. Andrew's saying Keith Lee got that Roman rub Sunday. I don't think Roman Reigns has nothing to do with this. Okay, Roman Reigns has got nothing to do with this spot. Okay. Keith Lee, he's great on a mic. Well, not great. I mean, you can understand what he's saying on the mic. Facial expressions are fantastic. Nonverbal calm is fantastic. Carries himself in the ring. Just has a posture and composure about him. Okay? Man. And the problem is, just like so many other organically built baby faces, wrong place, wrong time. Wrong place, wrong time. I'm just going to have it keep playing. Wait, hold on if I can. There we go. That's the shot we want right there. Look at that pure 90-degree angle on Adam Cole with the legs to the torso. Look at that shit. No, I'm just going to take a sober sip of the Pepsi on this one. Oh my God, that's such a treasure. Oh, it's so gorgeous. How would you feel if you were in that studio and you saw that white blur flying by you? Oh, God damn. That's just great. That's just great. You know what? That right there, every professional wrestling fan should look at that. If anyone, talks about it like NXT should never beat AEW's ratings, just show them this. Okay. NXT telling AEW to fuck off. God damn. Jamel saying, Mom, can we keep the Adam Cole? Oh, look, he's hurt. Please, can we keep him? Hey, I wanted my Adam Cole with honey mustard. Yeah, I'll take it, Adam Cole. Get your fresh Adam Cole. Oh, I'm not going to do the rest of the show, am I? I'm not going to talk about the rest of the show. This is great, okay? I know Jamel brought it up in the chat last week. I go ahead and say, Doug, what are your best things of the decade? Like your best matches, your best programs. If I'm going to say best spot of the decade, seriously, this, by God, okay? Show this to any professional wrestling fan. Will they frown at it? Will they be angry at it? No, they will laugh hysterically, okay? Seriously, there is not one professional wrestling fan looking at this GIF right now and won't smile. If you find one, that's an individual that if you handed them an ice cream cone, they won't smile. They'll be holding a balloon. Have you ever gone through life and, held a balloon and be sad? There's no such thing. Listening to Huey Lewis and the News and you're angry? No, it never happens. This spot brings a smile to your face. Period. Even if you've never watched professional wrestling at all, just show someone, just show anyone that's never watched professional wrestling this and get their reaction. Their reaction will be, holy shit. Because there's so much that you can take from this GIF. Understand that. It is beyond professional wrestling. You can make this GIF, this meme, into anything. This is what we saw throughout the week going like, hey, Ma, is Thanksgiving ready yet? No. That was the number one thing we saw. But what I'm looking at is, hey, we want to restrict voting rights. No. So you can take this. This is going to blow up. Okay, this GIF will blow up. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. All right, there's the rest of the show that I got to go over. Photos are shown of Mia Yim being taken out of the kickoff show. Dakota Kai turned heel. Candice LeRae is going to go against Dakota Kai in this show. Footage is shown at Lio Rush defeating Angel Garza for his cruiserweight title 2 weeks ago, and then at the pay-per-view at the kickoff show, Lio Rush versus Akira Tozawa for the cruiserweight title coming up. Shane Thorne versus Mansoor. Apparently, Mansoor wrestles in other places other than South Dakota. Jamel saying, "Go back to the GIF." Okay, all right, I'll go back. I'm just going to leave the GIF right here, and I will try to remember everything that happened on NXT. How about that? Okay. Mansoor versus Shane Thorne. Mansoor does participate in wrestling events other than South Dakota. It was not the spot-heavy, spot-orific match, no-sellerific match that Shane Thorne usually has. But no, Mansoor came up victorious. Who'd have thunk that? Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai. This was a match to confirm that Dakota Kai was further a heel. Walked out with a knee brace to let you know that she really hates Tegan Nox. She's got more body in her hair to let you know that she is a heel, I guess. A little more brown dye in her hair, a little more body in it, but she still looks weird in the face to me. So I don't know if she's actually a heel or not. But the match was supposed to let you confirm that she was. So, yeah, there you go. What other matches? Oh, Akira Tozawa versus Lio Rush for the cruiserweight title. Check that match out. Akira Tozawa is a diamond in the rough right now. CJ saying Dakota Kai is a butterface. Yeah, I know. Yeah, total Karen hair, says Jamel. Yes, Dakota Kai's got the Karen hair. She is asking for managers, is what she's doing. Lio Rush versus Akira Tozawa. Akira Tozawa is a diamond in the rough. He has had some great matches these past couple of weeks. Buddy Murphy, Andrade, the triple threat match that he had for the cruiserweight title at Survivor Series, the match he had here on NXT. Tozawa CJ brought it up. When he was paired with Titus O'Neil, he was really entertaining. But right now, him on his own is just as fascinating. I don't know. I really hope they keep putting him in matches that'll showcase what he can do. If it doesn't matter if he wins or loses, just showcases what he does. He's given a boost to Buddy Murphy, gave a boost to Andrade, gave a boost to the to 205 and the cruiserweight title. He's fun. He's a really fun act. Don't expect him to be put in anything else. Don't expect him to have a mouthpiece. Don't expect them to reunite Titus Worldwide. It's not going to happen. But Akira Tozawa is a fun act. He gets the crowd going, doing the ha stuff and slapping his knees when he doesn't really use them. His senton off the top rope is beautiful. It actually makes you laugh when you watch it. But really fun stuff there. What else do we have? Oh, yeah. Xia Li versus Vanessa Bourne. Vanessa Bourne, I don't get it. I guess she's supposed to be a beautiful person. And what I mean by that is, someone who's, hey, you can't have me. But I don't really see it. But Xia Li, though, I was watching this match, and Deanna walked in and saw me watching it, and she saw Xia Li and went, oh, my God, her thighs could crush walnuts. Yeah. I have been really big on Xia Li ever since the Mae Young tournament last year. Watch yourself on Xia Li. You could be seeing something from her in the next 6 to 9 months. A great work in progress, only looks better in the ring. I am not turning away from this GIF ever, okay? This will forever be on this show, okay? I'm surprised I'm doing so well in recapping NXT and not scrolling through. I'm just keeping it on the fun stuff here. After the match, Xia Li would defeat Vanessa Bourne. Shayna Baszler and Duke and Saphir would come out and beat up Xia Li, kick her out of the ring. Yes, Andrew, Xia Li is from China. They'd beat her up, kick her out of the ring. Shayna says that she was the best at Survivor Series. Out comes Rhea Ripley. However, Ripley beat her at War Games. And so it looks like we're going to soon be getting Ripley and Baszler for the NXT title of the Women's Persuasion. We know that's going to be happening. That's old news. Finally, main event of the NXT. Tomato Chopper versus Finn Balor. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to have to scroll through here. I'm trying to remember if it was a clean win or not. But, oh, yes, here we go. Tomato Chopper doing the white noise from the top rope on the Finn Balor. However, he shouts he's doing this for Johnny Gargano. A lot of stuff is happening. Air raid crash from the second rope. Balor kicked out of that. Tomato Chopper shouts he's doing it for Johnny Gargano. Adam Cole runs down. Tomato Chopper punches him off. Balor rolls him up. Chopper kicks out. Balor grabbed the NXT title. He goes to hit Ciampa, but the ref stops him. Ciampa rolls him up for a near fall. Balor hits a headlock, elbow drop onto the title, but Ciampa kicks out again. Cole then kicks Ciampa in the face when the ref's back is turned. Balor hits the 1916 for the win. I guess this is where it all happened. Yeah. Doing that, and then the 1916 Balor is celebrating. Adam Cole is happy until he gets kicked in the face. So there you go. Yeah, CJ. Yeah, Tomato Chomper is doing the damn flosion. He does that flosion all the time now. That's his thing. Yes. Before I go back, actually, first off, what did everyone think of NXT this week? 94% thumbs up on NXT. Gee, I wonder why. If this doesn't scream 94% approval, I don't know what does. CJ saying, well, I guess Lobster Head can't use the Flosion no more. Yeah, you're sads. Yeah, I'm sads too. There's a lot of different moves that people have been taking from other people's move sets that we can't see anymore. Yeah, we've seen it a lot. Speaking of Lobster Head, not going to be recapping SmackDown on here, but so Alexa Bliss is back from injury, came to Nikki Cross's save on SmackDown. Sheamus did a monologue promoting his return to SmackDown. On the SmackDown. Oh God, excuse me. That ruptured myself there. There was one other return. Oh yes, and Elias. Elias is back on SmackDown. He was strumming his guitar and making Dana Brooke dance and making Drake Maverick angry. So those three off the milk carton and out of injury. Alexa Bliss, Sheamus, and Elias. The WWE milk carton is very skim this week. But let's go over the news before we get over to the milk carton. No, not the injury list. I'm talking about the news. You know, Morrow looks really happy even though someone probably hurt his feelings and he didn't call NXT last Wednesday. All right, so let's talk about this. All right. I know, I don't mean to kill your buzz from the gif of Adam Cole flying into the 7th row, but we'll talk about this. Last Wednesday, Morrow did not call WWE NXT. According to a report by Post Wrestling, Ronaldo will be missing the event. He last Triple H, Paul Levesque, stated that Ronaldo would call matches at Survivor Series for NXT, but he was replaced by Adam Cole, who announced that Ronaldo had blown out his voice from the night before at War Games. Ronaldo, who suffers from bipolar depression, had his work criticized on Saturday night by WWE commentator Corey Graves via tweet, who thought Ronaldo was running over the other commentators during the show. Here is Corey Graves' tweet here, where he said, "Just for the record, guys, I know you wouldn't know it, but there's actually a WWE Hall of Famer and a former Ring of Honor champion on commentary, and I'd imagine they have a lot to offer." Morrow deleted his Twitter account following War Games after all of this happening. Andrew was saying, apparently, according to Meltzer, he's in real bad shape. Could be that just had a relapse instead of Corey hurting his feelings. CJ Corey is saying Corey is right, though. Corey does go way too hard. No, Ronaldo goes way too hard on the commentary. Okay, first off, my thoughts. I completely agree with Corey Graves. Morrow can be insufferable. Okay? He can be insufferable. All right? The problem, and the thing is, he does a form of commentary that no one else has, okay? He's incredibly creative, spontaneous, improvisational. His vocabulary is second to none. I mean, don't get me wrong. He is great on that end, okay? But it's great when you're the only one there. When you are a one-man crew with a color commentator doing a UFC fight, doing a boxing match, doing MMA, where it's just two guys fighting each other. And it's not professional wrestling where months of storytelling has been put into what you're supposed to be calling, where you're supposed to be talking about the story of why this match is happening and not just giving us incredible analogies and incredible vocabulary on what's happening in the ring. Throughout our years of, and I'll go ahead and put this up here, put his face up there. I've got nothing wrong with Morrow. Morrow Ronaldo is a great commentator. He's a great announcer. All of the complaints that we've gotten about Michael Cole way back when, 15 years ago. Well, Michael Cole never says the names of the moves. Well, Michael Cole is always talking about the story. He's not talking about what's happening in the ring. No. Well, Michael Cole, he just sucks ass. He doesn't talk about that pile driver that I just saw. Mauro Ranallo is the extreme opposite of Michael Cole. He is every Cheeto muncher's fantasy, okay, when it comes to announcing a professional wrestling match. This guy is fantastic for Ring of Honor. He's fantastic for independent wrestling. He is fantastic in New Japan. He is fantastic in every other professional wrestling organization except the WWE. Mauro is not made for the WWE. He is not. Because he is the exact extreme opposite of what Cole is. Okay? Every announcer has got their niche, okay, their way of delivery, and they are great at it. Cole with repetition, embedding into us why stuff is happening, but not necessarily paying attention to what's happening in the ring, okay? Ranallo, again, describing to us what's happening in the ring in vivid detail, but we tend to forget why stuff is happening and why things were happening. Jim Ross would insert way too much emotion into things, okay? He would try to find that medium, but it's way too much emotion, okay? You're supposed to be in this role of play-by-play unbiased, okay? You don't call people a son of a bitch, okay? And you try not to sound too invested into it, okay? Right now, if I had to say who the best play-by-play commentator is right now, play-by-play, it is to me a toss-up between Tom Phillips. Tom Phillips is fantastic. I think Tom Phillips is great. When he was paired up with Corey Graves and you had Byron Saxton on the side, that was great. That three-man team for SmackDown was great. But Tom Phillips, I think, right now is a great play-by-play along with Excalibur from AEW. AEW and Excalibur's pretty good on a play-by-play. Jim Ross is supposed to be the play-by-play, but Excalibur is more of a play-by-play than Jim Ross is. Jim Ross is just an angry old man that sees a lot of guys doing things, and he's trying to figure it all out. CJ brings up Vic Joseph. Vic Joseph alongside Lawler is fantastic. They're starting to gel really well without Dio Madden. So, gone are the days of where we could sit there and go, all announcing is horrible. I think that all of the announcers that we're seeing in every organization have gotten enough under their belt for us to realize what their roles are within every show that they do. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it, you know? But for me, when it comes to Mauro, damn it, he's good at what he does, but this is not the place for him. Someone like him should be at New Japan. Someone like him should be at Ring of Honor. I wouldn't put him in AEW. No, not AEW. No. He'd whip them all into a frenzy, and he would be way too busy talking about what's happening in the ring. AEW is trying to be WWE light and try to have storylines and stuff alongside their records, which I still don't understand. But Mauro, this is not, no. He's going to take some time off and take some time away, is what I'm seeing. Corey Graves would issue an apology to Mauro vaguely, but not necessarily put him by name. Full transcript from his podcast after the bell. The podcast that he gave was on the 27th, so that was, what do we say, that later that night is what it looks like. Full transcript. Here he is on his podcast. This is Corey Graves. Welcome to After the Bell. I am Corey Graves. A ton to get to this week, as we do every week. But before we go any further, on a personal note, I need to address something. This past Saturday, during the TakeOver War Games event, I sent out a tweet It was an unpopular opinion, as I often do, with the intention of just stirring up a little controversy, maybe have something fun to talk about on TV or on here on the show. It was maybe not the most professional way to go about things, and it was never meant to offend or disrespect or disparage anybody. That was never my intention. If it was taken as such, I apologize deeply. That was not my intention. I would never intentionally cause anybody any undue stress, especially a coworker, so I apologize. Without naming the person whom you could have offended. Nothing new has come from this at all. I'm just taking that Morrow is taking some time off. He's been away from home for a while. And that's kind of why he came back to NXT, was to not travel so much so that he could have rest days, so that he could be with family. Before NXT went live on USA, they would pre-tape episodes for NXT at Full Sail, 2 or 3 episodes at a time, and Morrow wouldn't miss a clip. Now that NXT has gone live on USA, Morrow is not getting the time off that he used to get all the time to rejuvenate himself, stabilize himself due to his bipolar. I think we need to admit it, that Morrow should not be with the WWE for his own health, for his own well-being, and for his reputation and the product in general. I think that's a fair assessment. Nothing against him. Nothing against him at all. It's just this is just not a good fit. With all the drama that's revolved around him for the past 2-3 years, this is just not a fit. It's just not a good fit for him. Sad. It's sad, but it's true. WWE announced that Lana agreed to a new multi-year extension with the company. Well, actually, Lana announced it herself on her Twitter page. She's announced that she's been signed to a multi-year extension with the company, and Rusev will soon be following in tow. Speaking of contracts, extensions, and promotions, referee Jessica Carr from NXT refed her final NXT match last weekend for an NXT house show. She is being promoted to SmackDown. WWE's first main roster female referee will be on SmackDown. Smart move. Smart move. Jamel saying Lana did, but not Rusev. Rusev is going to the AEW. Rusev's going to AEW. No. Well, he's been saying that for the past 2 years. But again, WWE main roster first female referee is going to be on SmackDown, while everyone's going to be bitching, oh, AEW did it first. AEW's got problems with their refs. Be thankful I haven't talked about that. I got plenty of footage of bad AEW refs. Little report here about the length of time of NXT being contractually locked into Full Sail University. According to PW Insider, NXT is contractually locked into Full Sail University until March of 2020. It is unknown if NXT will be taken on the road at the end of the contract. NXT is currently airing head-to-head with AEW Dynamite, a show which is on the road and taking place inside larger arenas. Tickets have been announced through January 2020 inside Full Sail University for WWE NXT. NXT will never go on tour for their live shows on Wednesday. They are going to stay at Full Sail and stay a studio show. There are so many reasons why NXT will not go on tour and be live every Wednesday. Do I need to go over them? I think I'll save that for another show. Okay? NXT is staying put at Full Sail for a very, 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 very long time. Yes. How do we separate NXT from Raw and SmackDown? The easiest way is keeping them stationary. That's the easiest way. Period. Oh, but dog, they're so popular. You could send them on tour and everything. No, you can't. No. Okay, look. AEW, after their first 5 or 6 weeks of doing shows, yeah, they sold out some arenas. They have not sold out any arenas since then. And they're being very selective in the arenas that they're choosing, but they still aren't selling them out. NXT cannot go on tour Wednesday nights. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You want to separate them from how they look from Raw and SmackDown aesthetically. Period. Keep them at Full Sail. Keep them there in the studio and doing their weekend house shows. They've got a great formula going right now. Don't change it. Don't change it. Luke Harper has reportedly applied to a trademark for his former independent in-ring name, and that was Brody Lee. We have not seen Luke Harper in quite some time. I will be going over that in the list that you all know well. But yeah, Brody Lee, he's set up a patent for it so that he can sell shirts and the like. Yeah, since asking for his release from the WWE, Harper has been mostly off television. I'll talk about what his last appearance was. But when it comes to Luke Harper, they're holding on to him. His contract does not expire until he has waited out what is contractually obligated by him due to his wrist injury, which kept him out for about 6 to 8 months. So in due time, he will be let go of his contract, but don't expect him to be joining anywhere else. He would be making cameo appearances with other wrestling organizations. Do not expect Brody Lee, Luke Harper to be a standout anywhere. He's not going to pull a Jake Hager. I don't see that happening. No, with how old he is, no, he just can't do it. News on the injury front. That is not news on the injury front. I want to show news on the injury front. How do I do such a thing? I'm doing that right now. This is how I do it. No, not that one. No, not that one. No, damn it, I don't do that. Yes, I do that. There it is. We have injury updates to Bobby Fish and Candice LeRae from the WWE. According to the update by WWE on their YouTube channel, which I cannot air because the YouTube Gestapo will go after me, Bobby Fish is listed day-to-day and is not medically cleared to compete at this time after what seemed to be he got concussed really hard. Later on that evening, P-Dub Insider reported that, he was walking around Full Sail University, but he's still got a boo-boo on his noggin. Candice LeRae is said to have oral lacerations to inner and outer lips due to an attack from Tegan Knox's knee brace that Dakota Kai had in her hand. She did not need stitches, and she is expected to return to the ring. So seriously, I'm talking about how Candice LeRae bit her lip? No, that's not what I meant. I did not. That's nothing. But I did find out, not on here, Ember Moon, in September, had surgery for a ruptured Achilles tendon. So, Ember Moon, we now understand why she is not performing, why she is on WWE Backstage. How do we know this? Because she said it on WWE Backstage last week. So, on to the injury report. Nia Jax, reparative surgery for both ACLs in both knees, due back Royal Rumble times. Jeff Hardy, when he is not drunk driving down the highways of North Carolina and passed out drunk in a stairwell in Myrtle Beach, he's trying to rehab his knee and should be due for Fastlane. Ruby Riott, reparative bilateral surgery on both shoulders. She is due back for the Royal Rumble. Lars Sullivan, destructive surgery on his ACL and MCL in his right knee, due back for WrestleMania times. Jinder Mahal, ruptured patella. He'll be back for WrestleMania times. Samoa Joe with a broken thumb. He has been showing up on Backstage, WWE Backstage. He should be due back in the next couple of weeks. I'll be surprised if he is not ready to go after TLC. Xavier Woods, torn Achilles. He's going to be due back for SummerSlam of next year. Same with Ember Moon with her torn Achilles. And those are the people that are hurt. What? Oh, Nafisa Dot. Is it just me, or has Rousey been missing from that list? Nafisa Dot, the reason Ronda Rousey is not on the injured list is because she was moved to the alumni section. But she is on Total Divas. So, just bear that in mind. But, again, those are all the people that are hurt. I've got to take another sip because it's part of the niche. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on TV for, say, 3 weeks? TV or pay-per-view for 3 weeks. They end up on a very special list. A list that has been made famous by a certain guy who has been on the main roster for over a year and has yet to be taken off the main roster because he's a champion in Puerto Rico with his dad's promotion. Someone send me a graphic. I got to make it known. This is presented by Epico Cologne, the WWE milk carton.
Oh, it feels so good. My arches aren't falling down. I feel so light and so I'm not heavy anymore. Look at me walk so fast.
All right. We spoke earlier of Luke Harper making his patents known for his Brody Lee name, but we have not seen him since Halloween when he took part in some kind of battle royale to figure out who would be battling for the United States title at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Riyadh or Jeddah, South Dakota. So that's the last time that we have seen him. EC3. Have not seen him since September the 23rd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was getting squashed by Rusev. Tamina. Have not seen her since that same episode of Monday Night Raw, where she was chasing after Carmella or some female for the 24/7 title that we have not seen since. Well, no, Matt Hardy. We saw him. But the Usos. We have not seen the Usos since July the 29th episode of Monday Night Raw, where they took part in a triple threat tag team match for the Raw tag team titles between them, the Revival, and Orange County. Where are these guys? Well, one of them is too busy getting swag from video game companies. The other one is too busy drunk driving down the highways of Florida. Don't know what's going on here. Man, it's been over 4 months since we've seen these guys. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know what's going on here. I'm kind of scared. Okay, I'm really, really scared. Naomi. Now, this one, there are a lot of reports that are going around that are like, oh, she's in the doghouse because she's with the Usos. She hasn't been on TV since July 22nd. That was the Raw reunion episode of Monday Night Raw. She has been gone since then for bereavement leave. A loss of a loved one, it really, really hit her. But for the past month, she has been fulfilling her public relations obligations. She's done signings. She's been at sponsors for the WWE like Cricket Mobile. She has been fulfilling her deal. She hasn't been in the ring, but she's kind of pulling a Sheamus right now. She's out there. She's doing stuff. So don't give her any guff, okay? She's pulling a Sheamus is what she's doing. Liv Morgan. We have not seen her since July 16th episode of SmackDown, where she faced off against Charlotte Flair. She lost, and then she got on the mic and said that she needed to get real. Well, honey, it's been 4.5 months, and all you've been doing is, just like you have before, tweeting out photos and videos on Instagram and Twitter about yourself. I have not seen anything. What are you? I don't know. I'm not sensing anything here. I don't get it. I'm genuinely confused. The Ascension. We have not seen them since the big Ender the Giant Battle Royale at the WrestleMania on April the 7th. Next week, it's going to be 8 months since we've seen the Ascension. They're getting dangerously close. They're getting dangerously close to Hall of Fame territory. But not as close as this guy, Primo Cologne. We haven't seen him since the March 26th episode of SmackDown, where he and Sanity were paired up with a security team to keep themselves in between Shane McMahon and The Miz to build up their match for the WrestleMania. Not the WrestleMania, me matey, but the regular WrestleMania that was last year in the cold area of New York. He is dangerously close as well. What are we looking at right now? About 3.5 months, close to 4 months? The clock is ticking. Could both Colognes be on the Hall of Fame in time for the WrestleMania? They could be, but the aforementioned Hall of Famer, I'm just going to keep on mentioning him. I can't come up with a graphic right now. I was depending on you guys. But the Hall of Famer, he will never leave the milk carton. We'll always talk about him forever and ever. Epico Cologne. Haven't seen him since Survivor Series of last year, where he was part of the Raw vs. SmackDown Tag Team Elimination match. The Epico Cologne WWE milk carton. This guy, yeah. Jamel asking, where's Eric Young? Let me look on my page here. Eric Young, we have not seen him. Let me see. There he is. Last we saw him was November 18th, where he was involved in the whole fracas and schmaz involving the Survivor Series on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Brace yourselves. This week's television, if these people don't show up, they could be on the milk carton. Sin Cara, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, Eric Young, No Way Jose, and the Singh brothers. Is that right? No, not the Singh brothers. Singh brothers are fine. Eric Young and No Way Jose, they're fine also. The ones that are on the cusp right now are Sin Cara and the B Team. So, I keep track, guys. I'm keeping track. So, that's your milk carton. Brought to you by Epico Cologne and his Puerto Rican loving butt. All right. We've got a lot to... Do we have a lot to talk about? No, we have a fair amount to talk about. When it comes to everything that we've taken in from Survivor Series and the shows that followed that, okay? Again, for the past 13 days, we have consumed over 30 hours of professional wrestling. Not just from WWE, from AEW and NXT and NWA Power. So, Andrew says, you have a graphic for Epico? Oh, wow, that's great. Send it to me. Twitter at Doug Wrestleview. DM. There you go. So much crap that we have digested and pooped out and stared at and go, wow, that's a weird consistency. So let's try to make sense of it all. Try my damnedest to look like this guy. Oh, that's about as close as I'm going to get. My hair is a lot better. Yeah. And I'm clean shaven. Okay. All right. Oh, crap. Wow. Look at that chat screen. Jesus Christ, that's huge. Let me change that right now. Wow. Let's change that right now. Dear Lord. Let's not have that happen again. Wow. I apologize, guys. Jeez. That is not supposed to happen with your chat, because I love seeing what you guys say. We're going to have to really adjust that. That's about as good as we're going to get right there. Okay. Jamel. He had that breakfast I posted. Cigarette, vodka, and hot coffee. Oh, yeah, the Finland brunch, Finland breakfast. Yeah, it was a cigarette with vodka and coffee. Yeah, that's what. Okay. Don't distract me. That I wish I had that brunch. All right. Survivor Series. What in the heck is going on here? Let's start on the Monday Night Raw end. Okay? And I'm taking into account Survivor Series from last week and the Raw that followed. Holy crap, that logo is huge. Kevin Owens is now the babyface of Monday Night Raw. Let this sink in, okay? And understand what we've come from and how far we got here. Kevin Owens took a break from the WWE for a good 6 months, close to a year prior. Goose says, "Wee!" Hi, Goose. Seth Rollins had been trying to be the babyface of Monday Night Raw ever since WrestleMania, taking the title from Brock Lesnar and then losing it to the Boogeyman. I mean the Fiend. And then he's come back and blah, 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 blah. So, Kevin Owens is now the top babyface of Monday Night Raw. By virtue of this. How are we booking this? Okay? How are we booking this? I mean, is it forever going to be Rollins and Owens here forever? Well, not forever, but I mean for the next 5 or 7 weeks until Royal Rumble times? It very well could be. So brace yourself for this, okay? For the next month to month and a half, is going to be nothing but validation and confirmation that Kevin Owens, Monday Night Raw is the Kevin Owens show. On a babyface level and not a heel level. Not by 2017 levels, but now by the 2019 into 2020 levels. This is going to be weird. Okay? But because he's incorporated the stunner into his moveset and Stone Cold was babyface, he is now the fat Canadian Stone Cold Steve Austin that he's always wanted to be. Is there any other way to put it? Is there any other way to put it? Yeah. All right. So, that's what we've got on the Monday Night Raw front. And I wanted to emphasize this because on Monday Night Raw, we now have the confirmed top babyface and top heel. We know the mega heel is Brock Lesnar, who never shows up. We know that the mega babyface now is Kevin Owens when it used to be Seth Rollins. Those are the top faces and heels of Monday Night Raw. Your main event, top tier, top face, top heel. But what about two other aspects of the show, mainly the women and the mid-card? I want to emphasize on the women and the men of the mid-card, okay? Let me move some things here because this is kind of freaking me out a little bit here. There we go. That's better. So what about the women and the mid-card? Let's start with the women. Well, let's start with the mid-card. Not the women. This right now, I'm showing you 4 guys from Monday Night Raw that are really in subjective limbo right now. I have no idea what's in store for these guys. Not just on Monday Night Raw and programs, but I have no idea what they're going to be doing at the WrestleMania matey. Lewis James in the chat room. Whee! Look, these 4 guys, I have no idea what's going on. First off, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, you can put them in a program, have them some fun. You know, have them 3 or 4 matches on Monday Night Raw that'll span a month or even longer. You're fine with that, but you can't make that into a pay-per-view match. So there's that. Ricochet right now is out there. But if you thought Ricochet was in purgatory, Andrade's been in purgatory for the past 5 months. What are we doing with these guys? What are we doing with these guys? Okay. What am I going to do with them? I can go clockwise around what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to have Andrade with Rey Mysterio and that United States title, and that's going to go on for a very, very long time until Rey Mysterio actually wants to hang it up. That's what I'm going to do. Drew McIntyre, I'm going to have him against Randy Orton to further verify who Drew McIntyre is. Eventually, those two could tag team, maybe win the Raw tag team titles to further solidify themselves, then split off. Drew McIntyre can become a babyface, and then sky's the limit within a year's time. That is, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Randy Orton, no. No titles, no nothing. He is the gatekeeper. Right now, Randy Orton is the gatekeeper. Ricochet, I have no clue. Jamel saying that actually works and would give him something to do. Andrade versus Rey is almost always good to great. Andrade, Rey Mysterio has been fantastic. Grash in the chat room. Whee! He's got snow outside. I don't have snow outside. It's been 65 degrees. And I saw Lewis asking me how Thanksgiving was. Thanksgiving was bountiful, plentiful, and full of food. I hope yours was as well. I have no idea what I'm doing with Ricochet. I really have no idea. I could splice Ricochet into matches with Buddy Murphy, a potential Aleister Black crossover. Who knows? Right now, Ricochet is the one that I'm worried about. I have no idea what's going on with Ricochet. But these are 4 guys in the SmackDown mid-card that are, Raw mid-card. We don't know what's going on here. Oddly enough, 3 of these 4 guys were in that Fatal 4-Way for the United States title, and I just left out the guy who won the United States title. I didn't put AJ Styles in there because we're anticipating him with the program with Rey Mysterio. So, mid-card is all sorts of effed up. But there's more stuff that's effed up on Raw. And it's the women. So, what you see right now, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Asuka, Kairi Sane. These are the women that you are seeing on Monday Night Raw that you have been seeing for nearly the past month. For the past 4 weeks, this is all you've seen women-wise on Monday Night Raw. Whether they be in singles, whether they be in tag team, this is what you see. And nothing has changed. The only thing that ever changed is when a Survivor Series match came up and, oh shit, we got to put some women in this. No thought has been put into the women's division of Monday Night Raw. None. And you had all the time in the world to build up women on Monday Night Raw. You are the longest show in all of WWE television. You're the longest show. You've got plenty of time to give. It doesn't need to be a long, drawn-out match. You can have it be, it doesn't even need to be a squash either. And you have the women to build upon each other and confirm and validate upon each other. Who are these women? And I'm talking about ones that are perfectly healthy. Zelina Vega has only been at ringside with Andrade to try to build him up, but she's never ever been in a singles match. She's only been in mixed tag or at ringside screwing up the people that are going after Andrade. She's never had a match on her own. Why? Is it because it's dependent on her to build up the Andrade character? Well, the Andrade character has been nowhere for the past year. So why is she there? To screw others over going against Andrade? The time has to pass. The time has to pass. We need to get Zelina up. Andrew saying, I thought Liv was on SmackDown. Nope. Liv is on Raw. According to the Raw roster on the website for the WWE, Liv Morgan is on Raw. She was sent there via the Superstar Shake-Up in the draft. What has she done? Nothing. Nothing. We haven't seen her in nearly 5 months, doing nothing but posting photos of herself. So there. Sarah Logan. This one is mind-blowing to me about Sarah Logan. I don't understand this. You put her in the Survivor Series elimination match as if we would recognize her immediately being on the Raw women's team. You had Charlotte, Natalya, Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Sarah Logan. Even though we haven't done anything with her in the past 5 months. She's making cries on the outside of the apron because that's what she does, but we never confirmed that. So that's the thing she do. Yeah. I don't. Such a missed opportunity with her. And I'm not saying she would be great. I'm just saying you could invest some time into her. 2 television is all you got to do. 2 TV shows. Have her have a match against Natalya. Give her a match against Charlotte and she loses. Give her a match against one of the Kabuki chicks. She can lose. It's okay. Give her a squash match. But not a typical squash match. Give her a match against a local jobber, but it lasts a good long time. This doesn't make sense. And finally, Naomi. She's fulfilling her PR obligations. It's about time. Okay? I don't mean to sound like a crass asshole or anything. I know when you lose a loved one, it hurts, it floors you, but it's time to come back. It's time for you to work. It's time for you to do something. So, it's just me. Jamel saying just make Sarah Logan a valet for the Viking Raiders? No. She's got to be on her own, or when she does have a match, the Viking Raiders are there at ringside just cheering her. That's all they can do. Or cheer at the ramp. They're on the ramp cheering, beating drums. There we go. There it is. If I'm booking Sarah Logan, I am having her alongside with the Viking Raiders for a match in the Viking Raiders squash. Then Sarah Logan has a match where she's supposed to have a squash, and the Viking Raiders are on the ramp beating drums, or, they got a sword and a shield, and they're clanging the shields like the Phalanx did when they were in NXT. There. Book her. And if she's horrible, she's got the backing of the Viking Raiders, and they can get the crowd into it. There are missed opportunities with the Raw women's roster that we should not be dependent on the go-tos. It's going to happen. This Raw roster for the women is going to stink unless they do something and do something fast. And it needs to involve one of these 4. I have a feeling it's going to involve Naomi more than anything else. So, CJ, just blow horns. I got you. CJ mentioning SmackDown is booked so well. Well, let's go into that. Friday Night SmackDown. The weird thing about Friday Night SmackDown, take a sip of the sources, they have the opposite dilemma of what Raw has on both fronts. First off, with their mid-cards. The mid-card men and women of the roster are booked perfectly. Everyone on the women's side of SmackDown is booked. Period. You can make qualms about why they're booked or how they're booked that way, but they're still booked. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville. On TV nearly every week. Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss coming back. You're going to see something going on with those 4. Carmella and Dana Brooke have been intermittently on TV or pay-per-view. There is something with them to keep them as a tag team or splitting off and doing their own things. Bayley and Sasha Banks together as the heel team, and Lacey Evans splitting off. Now she's a babyface to face off against both Bayley and Sasha Banks. Every woman on SmackDown has been on TV for the past 2 weeks. Something to be said apart from Raw. We want to talk about the mid-card on Raw? Everyone in the mid-card on Raw has been on television. Shinsuke Nakamura is your Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn has been in tow with him. They've incorporated Cesaro with him to be either in tag team matches or in singles matches. Heavy Machinery is doing their fun thing in the tag team matches to maybe potentially challenge New Day for their tag team titles, to do an honorific, respectorific tag team title match. Who else do we need to name? Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode have alongside with Karen Bourbon to do stuff on the heel side, along with Mustafa Ali, doing his stuff to build himself like Buddy Murphy over on the Raw side. Everything in SmackDown on the men's and women's mid-card side is gelling perfectly. Is working so well. Except on the front that the Raw seems to have cemented, but Goose, Muhammad Ali, it's Ali. What do you think? Except on the major front that Raw has cemented. Who is the babyface of SmackDown? Is it Roman Reigns or is it Daniel Bryan? Burdert has been going against Karen Bourbon and doing stuff for the Survivor Series. And why this happened, I don't necessarily know how that happened, of Karen Bourbon and Burdert. I don't know how that happened, but it is. Daniel Bryan, he has had, you want to talk about bipolar. Dear God, he's had a hell of a 2019, hasn't he? Going from Captain Planet champion before WrestleMania to plotting a murder attempt on Roman Reigns and being acquitted. And then now he's a babyface and Pennywise is after him. The Boogeyman is after him. Why? I don't know. And throughout all of this, these two weren't even the major baby faces of SmackDown through the middle of the year. It was Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston was the feel-good story throughout the entire year of SmackDown. And now he has fallen off the face of the planet because Fox. Even though during the entrance video for SmackDown when they go on air, he is the first face and the last face you see. Go figure. Go effing figure. So what are we doing? Who is the top baby face of SmackDown? Is it the go-to Roman Reigns? Is it the go-to Daniel Bryan? Which Daniel Bryan is it going to be? Roman Reigns hasn't really talked much. We don't know who the major babyface of SmackDown is. But I even think it's even worse. Who is the major heel of SmackDown? Is it this guy? Is it The Fiend? Is it Bray Wyatt, who only shows up in the ring to shove fingers down your throat and to say words only on a screen and doesn't do it live? Is it him, the Boogeyman, who, he's nigh indestructible with less invertebrates and more ventriloquism? Is this guy the major heel of SmackDown, to where he's only seen on a television screen talking and being indestructible in person? Is he the dominant heel of SmackDown? Or is it this guy? the guy who is in the ring every show, having a match every other show, on a mic live in front of the audience every show, gets the people riled up every show, and is just reviled. Who is the major heel of SmackDown? Who is the number one heel of SmackDown? Is it this guy who may not even elicit reactions at all when he shows up on screen or in person, or this guy who legitimately gets a reaction every time he shows up? Who is it? Who's the major heel? This is, it's completely amazing to me on Friday Night SmackDown that everyone is so well booked on the mid-card side, but there is no end game for the main event. There's no end game for this at all. What are we doing with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan? What are we doing with Bray Wyatt? What are we doing with Karen Corbin? Can you imagine 5 to 7 years ago where my questions were, who are we doing with John Cena, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Randy Orton? I have no idea what we're doing. Can you imagine that? That's the level that these guys are at. They are the major baby faces and heels of this show, and I have no clue what the end game is. Though we watched on Friday Night SmackDown and everyone thought that Bray Wyatt was introducing a new face to the Firefly Funhouse, and they thought it was going to be Liv Morgan, but everyone forgot that she was drafted to Monday Night Raw. And so, he dragged Daniel Bryan underneath the mat and started shaving his head. Well, actually threw hair up, but we don't know if it's Daniel Bryan's. That's the problem that we're having with SmackDown, is that we don't know what the end game is with the major heels and baby faces. So, time to look back at what I talked about earlier this year. Fantasy Booking 101. Fantasy Booking 101, there are 4 simple rules. 4 simple rules. First off, everyone fantasy books. Everyone fantasy books. CJ saying it's a dual-tiered main event. Dougie, I totally get it. Dual-tiered main event, sure. But when we're talking WrestleMania times, Army WrestleMania, there is no dual tier. You're only thinking of the top tier. Top tier. Fantasy Booking 101. Everyone fantasy books. Come on, all of us wrestling fans, we talk about, oh, I'd love to see this one against that person. Oh, this one would be great against that one. It could be. There's nothing wrong with saying that you would like to see Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're trying to say that they should do it for WrestleMania, that's where fantasy booking comes in, and it's time to remind ourselves what the rules of fantasy booking are. 4 rules. Number 1, remember everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. Remember who everyone has faced beforehand, what their programs were, because that's what's going to base their reasoning to have the match in the first place. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, there is a ton of history that you can go over for those two having a match. Right? But when it comes to the 4 that I mentioned from SmackDown, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Karen Corbin, there's a handful of history. A handful of history. Handful. Mainly involving Daniel Bryan. Karen Corbin, not so much. He's a newcomer into this. Roman Reigns, a little bit. Bray Wyatt, a little bit. But not a whole lot. So, you got to remember everything. Everything that everyone has done in their past, because it all coalesces into one nice package to sell and have a fantastic match and a fantastic program at that. Number 2, book for the long haul. You don't do a match just to have a match. There's a reason that you're having the match, and there's a reason that you want it to be impactful. And it's got to go for longer than just one night or 2 nights. It's got to go for the long haul. When you're building a program, when you're trying to fantasy book. Case in point, Daniel Bryan and the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Why is it so stale right now? Why are you not really feeling so good about this? Because it was just a Wyatt's attacking Daniel Bryan. Here we go. We're only really 4 weeks into that program, and it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. You know? Booking for the long haul is planning for everyone's building character, building a history, which goes back into remember everything. Booking for the long haul that's done wrong, Lashley Rusev. That's been going on for way too long. No history between the two. You've got no backing with anything regarding about infidelity at all. That's booking for the long haul done wrong. Booking for the long haul done right is all in NXT right now. So many examples in NXT about booking for the long haul. Number 3, you book the story. You're not booking the match. Yes, Samoa Joe Keith Lee would be fantastic in the ring, but what kind of a story is it telling? How are you going to tell that story? What story do you even have in mind between the two? Every Bray Wyatt match is booked on a story. Every Roman Reigns match is booked on a story. John Cena's matches, all of them story-driven. Daniel Bryan's matches, all of them story-driven. What is the story usually? Coming back from behind, learning from your mistakes, using a different club for the hole, tapping into somewhere that you never thought you'd go. Having a lot of heart, being the underdog. That's what booking the story is. You don't care about the moves. You don't care about what the size of the people are in the ring. You're trying to book a story. Booking for the long haul. Remember everything. Booking the story. Finally, and the most important thing, and I have succumbed to it more often than anyone else, especially when it comes to predicting a pay-per-view. It's not about you. It's not about what you would like. It's not about what you think is cool. It's not about what you think would look really neat because you would like it. It's about what everyone would like. You've got to be open-minded enough and know who your audience is to book this match, to book this program, to book this storyline, to write this narrative. You've got to know who your audience is. It's not about you. Not everyone out there is in their middle ages trying to find a better job and trying to identify with someone to root for. Hi, how you doing? Not everyone is a 12-year-old kid. Not everyone is approaching 21 years old and hadn't been laid in 3 years. I could name so many other archetypes and stereotypes of people who make matches and say that it would be great to see X against Y just for the sake of having X against Y, when that's all they want to see and they can't provide any other explanation for why X and Y would have to go against each other and subject me to watch it. Number 4, it's not about you. If you're wanting to be a great promoter and a great creative writer for the WWE or any professional wrestling organization, you have got to know your audience and got to know what everyone will root for and cheer for, regardless of demographics. Regardless. Doesn't matter. As long as you're a great writer and a great producer, you can do it. Don't think about yourself and what you think is cool. Look at how everyone has been built. Everyone has been built up. And Daniel brings up rule number 6. Don't get drunk. Because then you make stupid decisions. All right. So, Fantasy Booking 101 has been established. We've now gone back over what makes great fantasy booking, what makes great booking, period. So, how are we booking the WrestleMania? How are we doing this? Well, this is going to be tough. So, with WrestleMania, when we're booking this, the matches that we have in mind for WrestleMania is really more about the championship matches than anything else. Okay, there's no longer mystique about Undertaker or grudge matches. We're only really focusing on the championship matches because those are the easiest ones to build a story upon. That's the easiest ones for others that are outside of the pro wrestling realm that you want to invite in. Why are they fighting over this? Well, they're fighting over the title. Why are they fighting over the title? It's a really big deal. So, your champions. Bork Laser on the Monday Night Raw side because he hates working on Friday nights. So we're going to have 2 championship matches at WrestleMania right now as we see it. Bork Laser on the Raw side and this guy on the Friday Night SmackDown side. There is a major, major dilemma right now. Okay? And I don't know if I hope everyone is spotting this when it comes to WrestleMania and the booking of it. Do we go with the tried and true, a fantastic heel, and on the guy who has a great mouthpiece in Paul Heyman, that we could make a main event or the starting match of WrestleMania and kick it off well? Do we have it be Bork Laser? He's never done us wrong for the past 4 years. 5 years, for that matter. 6. He can do no wrong. Do we have it be built up around Bork Laser? Or do we build it up around the guy who's been building his own character for nearly an entire calendar year, who is the new boogeyman, who is great on TV but horrible on the mic, doesn't do anything on the mic live, who just gets up from everything, but he is on the television program that we just signed a $3.5 billion contract with. So who do we go with? The tried and true or the guy who brought us the money? This is a fantastic problem that the WWE is in right now. Do we build around the tried and true or the great new thing? How do you do this? How do you make a decision? Well, the decision is made in a pay-per-view that's coming up a couple of months from now. The Royal Rumble. Okay, so here's where you tell the story of whoever the hell is going up against either of those two guys, whether it be Bork Laser or the Fiend or the Boogeyman, Bray Wyatt. This is where you establish the story of who will be combating one of those two evil forces. And the decision is way worse. It's so much worse. It's so much more difficult. How do we do this? Do we go with the tried and true? Do we go with the guy that we've been going with for the past 6, 7, 8 years in Roman Reigns? And if we have him win the Royal Rumble, who said we have to have him go against the guy who's on his show in Bray Wyatt? It could be against Bork Laser again. It doesn't matter. Do we go with the tried and true? Do we go with the guy that everyone's been complaining about, that has garnered boos every single time, though they've died down a little bit because everyone's forgotten about him? Do we go with him? And if we do, it could be either one. Just put it out there. But if we don't go with him, what about the one that we've been building up right now as the new babyface? Let's have it be Kevin Owens. Why not be Kevin Owens winning the Royal Rumble and him facing Bork Laser? And by God, of all the people that Bork Laser's gone against, you really think that he would have a chance against him? But you can build it up to where he could have a chance against him. And it would be a no DQ match. Sure. But even if Owens did win it, who said he would go against Laser? He may go against Bray Wyatt. Who knows? But do you spend your Royal Rumble win and all of that time that you're going to invest on a character to form a story around? Do you form it around the tried and true of Roman Reigns? Do you form it around your newfound baby face of Kevin Owens, who has incorporated a move so that he can be a fat Canadian Stone Cold? Or you could take another route. You could take the heel route. You could take the stable route that looks like it has potential of Seth Rollins and AOP. The new stable where Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble with AOP's help. And he's shown to have the backing of brand new J&J security that looks like security at his side. And he could go against either Bork Laser or Bray Wyatt. And it looks like it's viable that he would win either way. Either way. This is the route you could really take and build up post-Royal Rumble, carry it 3 months down, and this trio be just balls out destructive on Raw. They could go everywhere. Rule number 4 is lurking in the rafters. You're right, Xantrix. Because I'm kind of bleeding in. Is it something I would like? Yeah. But it's an option. It's an option. Rollins winning the Royal Rumble is an option. It was one last year. He did it last year. The storyline for this, plenty of them. I was Raw's savior and I can be it again, but this time I'm doing it by some seedier, underhanded measures. Or, I want to seek revenge on that asshole boogeyman guy on the other show. The options are out there. This is one of the most difficult times to book WrestleMania right now, because right now we don't know who the major baby faces or heels are of one show. We don't know what the potential of the other show, of the Red Show, has with their mid-card coming up. Kofi Kingston had the feel-good story of WrestleMania. That came out of nowhere. Out of absolutely nowhere. And the only reason we had for that was because someone got hurt. What would it have been if Mustafa Ali was healthy going into Elimination Chamber? We don't know. But right now, it's all based around who are the major faces and heels and who is the competent mid-card. It's questionable on both fronts on either shows. And the last thing that we want to do is fall into go-tos that have, for the past 3 years, have never come through. We've learned our lessons. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Thank you all so much for stopping by and bearing through the technical difficulties and the source difficulties that I had. Everyone in the chat room, please, thank you so much for showing up through all of this. God, you all are so awesome. Everyone say, wee! Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Jamel. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Goose. Goose for stopping by. Thank you, Mashoon. Thank you, Nafis. I know I'm sad also that it fell short for Braun Strowman. I had so much for him, but maybe that's not meant for WrestleMania. Who knows? Thank you, Grash. Thank you, Wee. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Next week, Shane, when were you in there? Wee. Thank you all so much. Next week, here we are. It's December the 1st. We have 4 weeks until the end of the year, end of the decade. One of these is going to be the prediction show for the TLC. Thanks, Mashoon. Another great show. Well, thanks, Mashoon. I appreciate that. Starcade in a half an hour. Oh, crap. Oh, shoot. Let me fill you in on the card for the Starcade that you're going to be watching. 3 matches that you're going to be seeing on the WWE Network for the Starcade show. Rusev versus Bob Lashley in a last man standing match. Fatal 4-way tag team match for the women's tag team titles. Kabuki Warriors versus Banks and Bailey versus Bliss and Cross versus Charlotte and Lynch. And finally, Kevin Owens' show is going to have Ric Flair. That's what you're having. The matches you're not going to watch that only those people are going to see is Roman Reigns versus Karen Bourbon, Seth Rollins versus Eric Rowan. IC title match is a handicap match with The Miz and facing Sami Zayn and Nakamura. And finally, no, not finally, SmackDown Tag Team title match, The Revival going up against The New Day. And finally, Universal title match in a cage, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. So, hey, Shane, it was good to see you too. Again, 4 weeks left in this decade. One of them is a TLC prediction match show. 3 other shows. One of these shows is going to be the Dougies. Worst everything. Worst everything is what that is. Maybe. Sometime soon, I'm also going to be putting polls up on the Twitter and the Facebook media page for the best of the decade. Best of the decade. And you know what? I'm making it open discussion. You're asking me to look over 10 years of programs and performers and bests and worsts and... I can't do bests. I can only think of worsts. So let me do that. Okay? I'll take care of the worst. You guys take care of the best. So, we'll do that. As always, thank you guys so much for showing up. And you all know it's a motto it's a tagline you should live by. You will live a lot better and have a more positive life. And maybe be not as cynical as others, but you should go by it. Thank you all so much for showing up, and know when you're being sold to.